TalkWad.com, the world's fastest growing internet radio network. Please check out all the other great shows on www.talkwad.com.
What if your customers are trying to find your business online, but instead of finding you, they find your competitors? Now, more than ever, it's time to make sure you have the right SEO to make your business stand out online. Welcome to Go Mind Your Business with Terri Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts, putting your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking for you right now. Extreme Marketing Concepts, helping you drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition. And now, here's Terri.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Go Mind Your Business. My name is Terri Bork with Extreme Marketing Concepts. Today, I have another amazing guest for you. Today, my guest is Charles Visalli of Time for Wine. Charles, welcome to our program.
Terrific to be here, Terri. Thank you for the invitation.
You are so welcome. Charles has some great wines that he's going to share with us today, and I'm so excited for our show because I learn something new every single time about wine and pairings and varietals and all different types of things. So
you got the lingo down just right, Terri. You learned something from last time.
I
That's
did.
amazing.
I learned it all really well. Well, let me share with our listeners a little bit about you and your company, Time for Wine. Charles is married to Cheryl, and they own Time for Wine, and they can provide personalized services for individuals interested in wine gifts. They are people you can trust to bring quality wine and knowledge to every tasting. They're a local family-owned business with over 25 years of experience with wines. And the staff at Time for Wine can provide you or your clients a wine tasting, where you sample several different types of wine and learn about each region and food pairings. Time for Wine is available to offer services for fundraisers, charity events, 5-course dinner programs, and they have the ability to conduct a VIP tasting for your select clients. You can use them for personal gifts during the holidays, anniversaries, weddings, any type of event. You can let Charles and Cheryl help prepare a custom label for your wine selection. And it's a gift, and the gift of wine that you select tells your clients and friends that you value their relationship and that you appreciate their friendship. Now, Charles has taught wine tasting classes as part of the Teach and Taste Wine series at local restaurants and has been involved with arranging vintner dinners that feature a 5-course meal pairing with each wine selection. While traveling throughout the country, Charles and his staff have the opportunity to personally meet and learn from many winemakers who understand the unique style and aromas of their wines. So you can enjoy a tasting experience with Time for Wine and see why so many customers enjoy their wines and have fun. If you're interested in learning more about Time for Wine, you can visit their website at www.ewinetaste.com or give them a call at 813-664-1430. They're happy to help answer any questions that you might have. So again, Charles, I want to welcome you to our program today. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Mine as well, Terri. Thanks for the invitation again.
Oh, it's great. So let's talk about your involvement in the wine business. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started there.
Be delighted. Wine just became part of our family culture. Being of Italian descent, it was customary on Sundays when you visited grandparents. Aunts and uncles would arrive with all kinds of goodies, some that made homemade sausages, some that made cheese. But I had a couple of uncles who made wine. So at a very young age, all of the grandchildren and some of the other nieces and nephews that gathered would have a chance to taste some things. And gradually, you get to learn a little bit more about it. As I grew up, I took on some of those same characteristics, and my brother and my dad and I made wine several times. Some of it was good, some of it not so good, but that's the beauty of it. Wine is both an art and a science. So as Cheryl and I traveled, unbeknownst to us, when we were taking vacations, we always had an inkling to stop at different wineries. We were inquisitive. We found it to be fun and fascinating. And when we went to our guests' homes for a dinner engagement or for the holidays, we would bring some wine with us. It's a
Mhm.
great gift, and it's fascinating. So that's just kind of a quick little synopsis of how I got involved with the wine business.
Okay. So, how did Time for Wine actually come to be? I know it wasn't the first thing you've done.
Correct. Well, we both, Cheryl and I, come from different backgrounds, and both of us, this is our second careers. Initially, I started out in healthcare and became a hospital administrator, and Cheryl's background is an interior designer. So you say, well, how do these this couple get together and get involved with the wine business?
Right.
Well, I was doing a lot of traveling during the last part of my career, and with two children, it became very difficult and very cumbersome. So we decided to investigate furniture business, hotels, a bed and breakfast. We actually took a class up in the Jacksonville, Amelia Island area about buying and owning a bed and breakfast. Then we realized you got to get up at 5:30 in the morning. You got to clean toilets and stuff. I said, no, that's not what we want to do. But wines, we came back to that, and we investigated restaurants and wine boutique shops. But we found this through a business broker. And this was a company that was started in 1980 by a German couple that came over here and had established relationships with wineries from Europe. So I sat down with them. We had a couple of meetings, and I initially came on board and started working with them. And at the time, our kids were graduating high school, and I said, this can work. This can be fun. And you have to realize at the time we were looking at purchasing this, it was the late 90s, early 2000. Internet was just at its infancy. Websites were just being developed at that point in time, none of these big box stores. So for me, the gentleman that we purchased this from did not have a website, did not have all the marketing pieces that we now have put in place. I said, wow, this could be a win-win situation. So that's what we decided to do, and Cheryl and I have loved it, not regretting one bit of it. And we have really learned so much from the people that we've come in contact with and the travels, and then just sharing that knowledge with our customers.
Hmm. Awesome. Now, I know that you focus in three areas when you help businesses. You want to talk about some of that a little bit?
Sure, I'd be
Okay.
delighted to. Many times people are often perplexed. How do I say thank you to my clients? What do I do for the Christmas holidays or perhaps throughout the year for recognition? One of the simple things that we can do is a brief wine tasting with the owners or individuals who love wine, who are interested in wine, and then create the custom private label. That sets people apart
Hmm.
for the simple reason that you've done something above and beyond. You just didn't go to a box store, just pick something off the shelf. You tasted a wine, you found something you liked, and then we customize it with your personal logo.
Hmm.
So that is fabulous. Gift baskets is another assortment that we can do if people want to do something throughout the year for a client, and then engraved bottles. Now, the engraving aspect of it is not something we do in house. We have a gentleman, we outsource that, but he does beautiful work. And then it can be filled in with some gold or with some silver coloring. And boy, does that really stand out and make it look like a wonderful gift.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Great.
It's been fascinating. And when we talk about it, people say, "Wow, can I see it?" I say,
Hmm.
"Sure." So we'll bring a demo. We'll bring a couple of bottles that we have done, or some that have our own name on it, and show them, and they're just fascinated by it.
Okay. Great. Um, Tell us about some of the corporate area functions that you do.
Corporations are something that we love working with because throughout the year they're going to have training programs. They're going to entertain clients from other parts of the country that are going to come here because, let's face it, Tampa is a destination resort area.
Hmm.
People love coming to see us, whether it's spring training, whether it's football season or hockey, whatever it might be. Recently, I had a chance to work with an event planner who was hosting at a large resort over in St. Pete, and they had pharmaceutical reps from around the country. And they said, Charles, we need to entertain these folks. So, well, tell me about the day. Well, we're going to take them to the Dolly Museum. I said, perfect. Let's do a Spanish wine pairing to get them ready for the Dolly Museum. And that's what we did. For an hour, we opened up four bottles of wine, and I talked about each one of them, from a beautiful cava, which is a Spanish sparkling, the Albareno, Tempranillo, and then we finished with a sherry dessert wine. And they were fascinated. We broke the ice with some corks, and I got a chance to talk and describe about how corks have evolved, what changes have taken place with cork development, what new corks are being made out there. So corporations love us, and sometimes they'll do an annual banquet or a party and use our services for the cocktail hour, and we can do a wine tasting with them as well.
I got that. Okay, great. Now, how about I know that you like to do a lot with charities and nonprofits. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Terry, that's been something that we've always tried to do is give back to the community. We love the people that have partnered with us over the years, and there's several of them that have used us repeatedly. Um, in the upcoming months, we will be working with the Dade City Sunrise Program, a shelter for abused women.
Hmm.
This is our ninth year working with them, and they do two events every year. We've had the chance to work here with Jeff Thomas with the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Association. And initially, Jeff was a little concerned. How do we put this together? Now he's done three in a row, and he can't wait to do his fourth one.
Hmm.
It's just a very wonderful way to partner with people and help them. So, upcoming events that we have, USF, the Parkinson's Foundation, will be doing that over at the campus for Dr. Hauser. United Way, the art of giving. This is our first year partnering with United Way. It's a big event. They get like 500 or 600 people. So we're going to do something very special. Can't give away all the details right now,
Okay.
but it will be a lot of fun. And then in the summer months, we get a chance to work with one of the crews. Gasparilla is very big here in the Tampa Bay area,
Hmm.
and many of the crews partner with us. We've done something with Rough Riders in the past, but there's one in particular called the Crew of Zingaro,
Mm.
and they have a function every year called Uncork the Cure. Uncork the Cure is a program by Dr. Tebby. He's a leading oncologist and works with children cancer. So we get a chance to partner with them and do a fundraiser and pour some wines, gift baskets, and teach people. And it's just a wonderful way to give back to the community.
Wow, that's outstanding, and I can see how proud you are to do the charity events. It's great to do stuff that touches your heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In addition, those are big events and those take a lot of time and consume a lot of activity. But we're open to working with churches. Kiwanis and Rotary are also two great civic groups that we've had the pleasure of working with. So I always give people the opportunity. Give me a chance to come in. Let's talk about what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. What are your goals? And I put a checklist together. I want to make it simple. When I partner with somebody, it's not that you do all the work and I'm just going to come in and bring the wine. We truly will help them. We'll publicize it on Facebook if we can, put it up on a couple of other websites, get them some gift certificates. If we can help, we'll even sell some tickets for them. I really want it to be a win-win situation, and they see the value of using Time for Wine for their wine tasting events.
That's fabulous. If you're just joining us, we're speaking with Charles Visalli of Time for Wine. If you have an event coming up that you'd like more information on some neat things that they can do to help you out, go ahead and give them a call at 813-664-1430. Or you can go to their website to get some additional ideas at www.ewinetaste.com. So, Charles, what's so different about your wine versus, walking into the liquor store or the wine store?
Well, first of all, we all take part in tasting all the wines before we bring anything in. We're very selective, meaning that we're very interested where the grapes come from, what's the time and effort that the winemakers put in to produce those particular wines, and are they very different? Wines have evolved over the last 10 or 20 years, and we're seeing an surgence of wines coming from Europe, South America, Australia, New Zealand, but they are just a lot of them bulk wines. or just mass produced. I like to work with small boutique family owned wineries, sometimes even having the opportunity of meeting with the winemakers themselves. Mary Hill is a wonderful winery in Washington State in the Columbia Valley. And for the last 3 years, we've had the pleasure of meeting both the owners and the winemaker right here in Tampa Bay. So I can personally tell you what his passion is, what he thinks about the growing seasons. Because although the weather here in Tampa Bay is beautiful, in different parts of the country, they're getting hit with unbelievable heat waves or torrential rainstorms. So growing the grapes is not as simple or as an easy process as one might assume. Um, Last year, I had the pleasure of meeting a gentleman by the name of Duncan, who is originally from New Zealand, but now is a winemaker in the South America area. And he's bringing wines in from Mendoza, from Argentina. Wines were fabulous. So we will taste the wines, we'll know about them, we'll know about the history, and sit down. So when somebody comes in and says, Charles, I'm looking for a red wine, well, I need to go a lot further. Do you like it sweet? Do you like it dry? Do you like the European terroir, or do you like more of the fruit forward? Are you looking for a Pinot? Are you looking for a Cabernet? So I try to really research and find the exact perfect fit for my clients and giving them something I know they'll enjoy and enjoy sharing with their friends.
Oh, that's fabulous. Now, I'm learning in wine.
Yes,
And one of the things that I know is, I'm really not a big fan of red.
understood.
So, what do you suggest, with wine choices? I mean, there's so many other types of wine. I mean, how do you, but I'm sure like there's probably a red that I might enjoy. So how would I know what to pick?
Red wines have also evolved over a number of years. And I start off with, what flavors do you like? So, in asking a client, I like cranberries, I like raspberries. Do you like plums? Um, in those characteristics are not anything that's added to the wine, but a significant impact of the terroir or the soil in which those wines are grown, the grape varietal itself, and then how much rainfall. Whether that wine is done and fermented in oak or done in stainless.
Mm.
And a lot of people don't realize that there are red wines that are done in stainless steel. So not every red wine has to have that dry pucker sensation. Some can be very fruity. We have wines now that taste like a sangria and can be used, and I share my recipe when I'm doing wine tastings for a delicious sangria for my clients. So in sitting down with you, I would ask those questions, and then based upon your response, what you like, what you prefer, I would do a varietal tasting and open up 2 or 3 different red wines, and then try to disseminate from there what you enjoy. What tastes the best? This is too sweet. This is too dry. Aha, that's the one I like.
Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. Another problem that I have when it comes to wine is pairing it with the proper food. How do you know which goes with what? You know?
Well, we got to do some more wine
I
tasting with you
know.
so we can help you with some of these
I
problems you're having.
know. So they're so terrible.
Wine pairings is really a pleasure. It's a lot of fun. First of all, you have to be a foodie. You have to
Mhm.
love food.
Well, we,
Um,
we can tell that
fo-
that's not a problem, Charles.
Food and wine go well together. And there are a variety of things that, again, we look at. We look at the body of the wine, the weight of the wine, how light, how medium bodied, or how dry it is, and compare it to the different types of foods. Whether you're doing appetizers like a bruschetta or melon and prosciutto, you're doing salads, you're doing pasta dishes, or if you get into meats and vegetables. Now, I do work with vegetarians as well, and people ask that question of me all the time. Well, isn't this supposed to go with a red meat? Well, sure it can, but I can pair it with a portobello mushroom grilled. We could sear some eggplant and get a whole different charred flavor and taste with that. Or pasta dishes. Vegetarians love pasta. And then it's the sauce. Are you going to use a fettuccine sauce with that? And the cheese is there, and what would break down with that? Are you going to use a marinara sauce, or a red sauce, or a penny vodka sauce, kind of in between? So wines and foods go very, very well together. Same thing with cheeses. mild cheese, heavier cheeses, sharp cheeses, or just Stilton blue cheeses. You can just take the whole blue cheese vertical tasting and just pair it up with different wines. So it's, again, what people enjoy, what they're looking for. The golden rule is a wine should not overpower the food, and the food should not overpower the wine. There should be a balance there so that you can taste both and that the wine would enrich that particular dish.
Oh, I got that. Okay. Now, is it expensive to host a wine tasting in your home?
Not at all. We ask that people who are going to host a wine tasting invite friends, neighbors, maybe even some business associates that enjoy wine, are interested in learning about wine, and then would like to purchase wine. The group size that we prefer is 12 to 18 people. That's a size that I have found you could fit around the dining room table. You could fit out in the lanai area. It's comfortable for people. Sometimes I have had clients that say, "Oh, I can get 35 or 40 people." I don't prefer that for the simple reason my wine tastings, I want it to be a personal experience.
Mhm.
With 12 or 14 people, I can remember most of their names. I can remember a few things about that person, what they like, what they enjoy, and I can give them that personalized attention as I'm pouring wines. And there is no cost. If you want to host a wine tasting, the simple rule is you invite the friends, you're willing to purchase the wines for us, and we like to try to sell a couple of cases of our wines, and you'll get a chance to try 7 different wines. We generally will do 3 whites, maybe 4 reds, depending on what they like. If they like a sparkling wine, we could substitute one of the whites. Or if they've not tried any of our dessert wines, like the Beerenauslese, the ice wine, or a sherry or a port, we could substitute one of the reds. So you are going to get, for 45 minutes to an hour, an exquisite wine tasting. All we ask that you put some cheese and some crackers together, have a pitcher of water, and then we'll take you through that whole function of a beautiful European tasting of that tradition of doing a wine tasting.
Ooh, that sounds like it's a lot of fun.
It's awesome.
That's great. Now, how do the guests know what they're sampling? Is there a cheat sheet?
Well, I don't call it a cheat sheet. We call it a tasting sheet.
Oh, got it. Okay, better
We
word.
we have a tasting sheet that we bring along. Actually, it's an NCR form because it'll have for them information that they could write. So we'll tell them, what the wine is, and I want people to guess a little bit. I want you to learn a little bit.
Mhm.
What are you smelling? And some, I don't get that. I don't get. But as soon as I mention pears, apricots, citrus, herbs, oh, I got it. You know, it it's a training process. Just like anything else, the more you do something, the more you become familiar with it. So I'll ask people, do you pick up the melon in that? No, I don't. Well, what about kiwi or mango? Wow, I got that. So, and all wines will have different flavors. The Rieslings that we have, the Moscatos that we have, Gewürztraminer. Right now, we're loving French wines. So the Vouvray and the Rosé d'Anjou are absolutely magnificent.
Mm,
Oui,
okay.
oui, madame.
Oui, yes. It sounds so yummy. Just keep talking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's fun, Terry. It really is.
Uh-huh. Okay. Now, how about, can folks just stop by and pick up a few bottles of wine on their way home?
We can arrange for that. We are not a liquor store,
Mhm.
so we asked if people were at a charity event or at a tasting. Say, Charles, I love that wine. Can I come by and pick it up? Please. But we ask that people call because our hours are usually around 9 o'clock to 4:30. Not that we're going home or I'm out playing golf. It's just that we have events and functions. Most of our activities start at 5:30 or 6 o'clock. We do a program called a Sweet Night Out, where I do a chocolate and wine pairing. Then we have events that we do and partner with other organizations. So, in order to be ready for those, we've got to bring the wines, we've got to set up everything. So, absolutely. We'll even do some Saturday appointments if people call us ahead of time and say, hey, I'd like to pick up a case or a mixed variety of some wines. Or they're hosting a party. They say, Charles, I don't know what to get. Can you help me? Terry, I'd be delighted. And I've done that with several people, and they've enjoyed it. Weddings right now. We're into the wedding season. Again, Tampa's a destination. So we're putting together some private labels for some clients who've asked us, Charles, we need a white and a red, and I want to put a wedding photograph on there. I'd be delighted to sit down with them, Terry.
Okay. That's terrific. So you're listening to Go Mind Your Business here on the All Your Business radio station here at the Talkwad Network. Check out some of the other programs that we have on the Talkwad Network. Right now, we are going to take a commercial break with our sponsor, Extreme Marketing Concepts, and we'll be right back to Charles in just a moment. Don't go away. And we're back on Go Mind Your Business. Again, my name is Terri Bork, and my very special guest today is Mr. Charles Visalli with Time for Wine. Extreme Marketing Concepts wants to let you know that most companies today have one of two problems. Either they have a terrific reputation and nobody knows about them, or they have a terrible reputation and everybody knows about them. Either one of those situations, Extreme Marketing Concepts can help you with that. Give them a call at 813-863-1452. Again, my special guest, Charles Visalli of Time for Wine. I just want to put that all together in one word. Can help you with any type of wine question that you might have, what to serve for dinner tonight, give you great ideas and suggestions. Give him a call with anything that you'd like to know at 813-664-1430, or visit them online at www.ewinetaste.com. So, Charles, let's talk about some of your educational programs. I know you have some out there.
I'd be delighted. One of the things that we've enjoyed pairing with is a travel agency. Travel agencies love to teach, love to share with them their experience of where they've gone. So in the past, we've worked with Carrollwood Cultural Center and have actually teamed up with a travel agency and have done what we call our Wine Passport program. It's our travel series where we'll take a specific country, give them about a 10 or 15-minute overview of that country, and then do about 4 to 5 different wines from the different regions. So we've done Spain, Italy, Argentina, and last year we ventured into Germany as well. Germany, there's a little bit more mystique there. People just think they just do sweet wines and only white wines, but they do some red wines. And Italy has really pushed the envelope a little bit more and is really reaching out and doing some wonderful wines. Because when people think of Italian wines, the first thing comes to their mind is Chianti. And Chianti's great, but there's the wines from the northern region, the Veneto wines, the wines from Piemonte, the Amarones and Valpolicella, the wines from Puglia, and you have the wines from Sicily, the Nera di Avola. So just not only saying and expressing what those wines are, but then sitting down and actually tasting them. People's eyes open up, their minds are fascinated, and then it gives them a goal to perhaps travel to those countries and learn more about those wines.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're teaching them about this geography while you're going through these wines. So are you providing any travel tours with your wine program?
We haven't. That is the ultimate goal. We've had the pleasure of traveling ourselves, but people have asked us. And trying to accommodate, it'd have to be small groups of 14, maybe 18 people. And that's one of the goals that I've set forth is getting together and making that destination a reality. But my envision of a tour would encompass all of the aspects of wine and a little bit of the tourism there. But as I said, and I told people, I said, I'd want to take you to a cooking school for a day and learn from a chef. And this chef could be a grandmother that has cooked for centuries, recipes that she's had in the house. I'd like to take you to an olive oil factory, a cheese factory where you make the fresh ricotta that day or the mozzarella, and then you have it for dinner that evening. So that would be all encompassing. If we were to have a chance to go to Argentina, we've traveled there, and the culture there embraces Americans and loves us, and the wines are fabulous. So that's the goal in trying to put that together. It's a very challenging job,
Mm.
but I would envision us doing that because I think people are fascinated. And the more you can teach someone about that, the more they get to learn and want to learn more about their particular wines from that region.
Got that. Okay. Are there some new wines to enjoy?
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up.
Mm.
South Africa is one of those new destinations. We're working and partnering with a winery called Robertson. Robertson has been around for a number of years. Now, when you talk about South Africa and you talk about the Cape, it's a small area. There's not a lot there, but what they've been producing is absolutely fabulous. And they have a grape. Many countries have their own grape varietal. The one that I've been very fascinated with is a Pinotage. Pinotage is a red grape we actually carry from Fanto Ridge, one of the bottles that I brought along with me here today, and it is fabulous. For those people who like something that's adventuresome, big, bold, but with a soft tannin, this Pinotage has been fabulous. It's the Fanto Ridge 2010, very affordable, but it'll rival some people who love the big, bold Cabernets or the big Bordeaux's or the big Italian wines, but with a whole different style. The push right now, not only in South Africa, but around the world, is to move towards organic or more natural. And that's something we've always had the pleasure of working with wineries that don't add additional sulfites. They're naturally there.
Mm.
And one of the things is that this Robertson has the certification in sustainability or the CIS organic symbol. And some of their wines are going to become more organic. So that's fascinating. They're watching what's being done. They're using all the natural ingredients. They're using sheep to kill the pest and helping with curtailing some of the insects that are there. They're using just a lot of natural things. You know, insects can be a detriment, but there's one insect that can be a real help, and that's the ladybug.
Really?
Yeah, the ladybug is a symbol of some wineries, but the ladybug actually helps and protects and eats the other insects.
Oh, well, it's a good thing we have her then, right?
That's right. Ladybug is good.
You know, in front of us, we have some wonderful bottles of wine. Something I've always wanted to know is there's different color bottles. Is it significant to the wine or is it just a bottle color?
Well, there's a whole class that I teach on bottles
Oh my gosh.
because there is a significance about it. Bottles that have no shoulders to them. There's the Bordeaux style bottle, the Burgundian bottle. So every bottle design has a little different impact to the wine. Colored glass actually started in Europe and started in Germany. They realized the importance of clear glass allowing more sunlight to come through and attacking the wine. So therefore, the Germans started using colored glass. Brown was first, and then they started finding when they were making glass, because remember, we didn't have a factory back then. We didn't have these companies. So the wineries were actually making glass bottles, and they were being blown. The blue bottle actually started as traces of cobalt, which is a blue coloration, were found in some parts of the grain and the sand that they were using to make the bottles. So that's how the more favorite or the more expensive wines were put in the blue bottles. From the Mosel, you have the green colored bottles in Germany. The darker bottles, and they look almost black here because they have red wine in them, are always used for that. But As you look at, some of them have a little elevated lip around the top. If you flip the bottle older, you notice the indentation, which we call the punt, underneath. And then the thickness, the gauge of the glass. There's a couple of winemakers out there that use only certain type of glass. We're working with one winery out of California. It's Oren Swift, and his glass bottles are impeccable. One of his glass bottles costs $20 with no wine in it.
Wow, I had no idea. I just wanted to know
See?
why they were different colors. And look at, I got a whole education. That's fabulous. Do you want to talk about any of the wines that we have on some of the tables? The
Yeah, let me
significance about
let me
them?
just grab one real quick.
Okay, great. Please. Okay. We're just waiting for Charles to grab some bottles. And be right back. While he's preparing, again, if you have questions on what kind of bottle you'd like and what to put inside it, you can give him a call at 813-664-1430. So let's go ahead and talk about some of this. Is a little bottle.
This is the little one. And what I love about this one, Terry, is that this is great for wonderful gifts. If people have a budget, but with wedding season coming, this is a beautiful Moscato. It's a sparkling from Italy. We have both this and the Prosecco, and we can actually put a little custom label on there. But it does have the little inverted bottom.
Hold that up a little
here.
higher. There we go.
And
Okay.
you can see.
Yes.
It's a DOCG, so the band on the top has real importance to it, and it's a beautiful designed and very flavorful wine.
Okay.
So you can use them for a lot of practical purposes.
Got it.
This one here I wanted to bring along because it's very significant and very timely right now.
Okay.
It's actually the Chinese New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. It is Year of the Snake.
Oh, that's the significance. There's a snake on this bottle for those of you who can't see it.
Exactly. Every year we have the pleasure of working with this individual. She's a financial planner, and she happens to be Asian. And we do a custom design for her based on the zodiac sign. There's 12 different signs. So we've done Year of the Tiger, Year of the Bull, Year of the Ox. This year was Year of the Snake. So our staff sit down very patiently and customize everything that's there. And then we also add the lunar year, which is 4711 this year. So there's a lot of culture. There's a lot of symbolism with creating a label. It's just not something you could slap together. Color is very important for Chinese individuals. So we've done this. And now talk about corporations and the significance. We now have the pleasure of shipping these around the country for our clients. So if you have somebody that's important to you, you just struck a deal or had a business relationship, but they're in Colorado, they're in New York, no problem. We could ship a gift basket. We can do individual customized bottles, whatever the person needs. And then what I did in particular for this client, to make it even more special, is I researched the information and I customized and put her logo there, our logo here, and described everything about that wine. So when that person gets it, it's not foreign to them. And I think it just makes it a more personalized gift to give to someone, Terry.
Oh, that's outstanding. Thank you for sharing that. And that's very, very helpful because someone can
Absolutely.
say, well, what kind of wine is it? What do I pair it with? And better than, I don't know. You want to say, oh, well, here you got all this information.
And it exactly has it. It talks about the color, talks about the flavors, ripe plum, robust spices that pair well with, because it's Chinese, Beijing barbecue beef skewers or fried stuffed peppers. And then I put the Chinese word right there. So I really take a personal interest when I'm working with a client, and I want them to see, using our company, using Time for Wine is someone who goes above and beyond. I really want you to feel special, and I want your clients, when they receive a gift, know that we've done our very best to make it that special for you.
I really got that. Do you want to share the last one with us that you have? This is a very light green. I'm assuming now, based on my education, this maybe held a whiter wine or
No,
pink?
This actually held a red wine.
Oh, it did.
And,
Okay.
and again, because the wine is not in there,
Oh, okay, it
gives
looks-
it that almost green color.
Got it. Okay.
This is a wonderful wine. And partnering with charity events and fundraisers, this was one that we did with Ruth Eckert. They launched their BBC Agatha Christie murder mystery, and they got a sponsor, and we did cases of wine with this. Now, some of them they actually had signed by the director and some of the actors, and then they auctioned these off. So you could see it looked just like the marquee, and we created the custom label just for them.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Mhm.
Okay. And that so you can ship bottles. Can you
Yes.
ship one or can you ship many?
We could ship any quantity you want.
Okay.
If we're doing a custom label for you, we ask that it be one case of the same wine, which is 12 bottles. Some of my clients use us and order a case, and then throughout the year, as they have individuals, we ship those bottles. So I have a car company who's a wholesaler, and every time he sells a car, a week later, he sends us the information, and we ship a bottle of wine for them.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
Great. Tell us about some of your team building programs.
Sure. One of the things that I think is very important is bringing people together and seeing how they work in an atmosphere outside of the office, but with a little bit of fun.
Hmm.
I mentioned earlier, I partner with a gentleman who has a chocolate factory, and we do a program called the Sweet Night Out or the Sweet Team Building events. What we do there is actually take them to that office, and we do a little wines, little chocolate, but then we have these large chocolate homes, little houses that are all in pieces, and we'll break the teams up. Could be 3 or 4 members on a team, and then they're challenged to look at that box and try to put that whole house together,
Hmm.
just based upon just looking at that.
Hmm.
So it's a lot of fun. We've also done team building around wines and wines around the world, where we've taken them and taught them a little bit about the wines, and then they'll prepare either a skit or something entertaining or something fun about that, and then come out. Again, it's about letting your inhibitions down, having some fun, and it's very stressful out there, and a lot of people are competing, so difficult. But if you can just bring some folks together, just have them have a little bit of fun, it makes the process go a lot better.
Oh, that's terrific. And will you work with any type of private chef for cooking?
Chefs are a very, very integral part of wines and wine pairing. There's 2 or 3 chefs that we've had the pleasure of working with. All of them bring something different. Many times I'll sit down with them and I'll show them different wines, or we'll have a chance to taste it, and then they'll prepare, or they'll give me the menu, and then it's up to me to prepare with them. So this can be done at someone's home. It could be a small dinner party. We did one earlier this year. It was a gentleman's 80th birthday. One of my clients hired us and the chef to come in, and we did French wines. So we did a champagne to start off with. We did a Chardonnay, a Bordeaux, and then we finished with a dessert wine called Pinot de Charence. And everything paired very well. For the champagne, we did a beautiful salad, and he used some of the champagne to make a vinaigrette dressing. The second course was a soup, which we did with the Chardonnay. Third course was beef Burgundy, and he used the Bordeaux in making the beef Burgundy. Last was the Pinot de Charence, and he made a bread pudding, and it was delicious. So we pair up everything so that the taste complements all the different foods. But we'll do it for larger groups or smaller groups. And I love working with chefs. They get to be very creative, very innovative with some of their meal preparations, and sitting down and just learning from them has been a real pleasure.
Oh, that's terrific. Um, Now, I know that you do some professional presentation for groups and for corporate functions. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on that and how somebody can get you to come out and speak to their group?
Sure. When we talked a little bit earlier about civic groups like Kiwanis and Road, they're always looking for programs and people. So, that's only maybe about a 10 or 15-minute program, but any of the groups that would call, time allows on the calendar, would be glad to. Many individuals, if they've had uh, a great um, month or a record for sales training or a way to reward and recognize individuals, they'll hire us. We'll come out, we'll do a brief little wine tasting, and then we'll have kind of a little question and answer session. Realtors will use us for open houses for individuals. if they're doing something, they want to showcase that particular home, we'll go in there and we'll do a brief little wine tasting for them. But we've got clients all the way up in Citrus County that have called us, out in Lakeland, St. Pete, Clearwater. So depending on what their goal is, what do they want to accomplish, sometimes it's an appreciation event where they are inviting a lot of their clients there and say, Charles, because we're licensed and we're insured, people love using us because we are covered. We're very professional. We're not bartenders. We're truly trained wine consultants, and we'll come out there, we'll teach people, we'll have a lot of fun with it. And just like here, you learn something new, you pop open a few corks, but it's about the tasting experience at that point.
I got that. Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us that we haven't covered today?
The only other thing I think that I always like to talk about with individuals is anniversaries that are coming up and some special occasions. We've talked about a lot of gifts here, but a customized gift basket. You don't have to call us and order cases of wine, but if you do have something that's very different and very elegant, we have a couple of event planners, and they give us a stack of their business cards. So when they've signed off on a wedding or a big function, we'll put together 2 or 3 gift baskets, and they'll use them. Banks have used us in that capacity. So the gift-giving program can be very, very beneficial. Remember, they're unique wines. You're not going to see them at a lot of the stores at all, and how we can customize that for you and make it very special. I do have a CPA firm, and when people are retiring, they'll call us. And again, I have a stack of the cards. We'll put a bottle in there, and we'll ship it out for them. So the personalized service you'll get from Time for Wine will take the extra steps to make it special and make it fun and make it entertaining. And if someone wanted to learn a little bit more about wines, they can simply call us. We'll put something together for them that they'll enjoy.
Oh, that's outstanding. Great information to know,
Thank you.
great information to have. If you have questions for Charles or his wife Cheryl at Time for Wine, you can give them a call. Again, their number is 813-664-1430, or they have a great website. It can answer a lot of your questions, give you a lot of neat ideas. You can visit that at www.ewinetaste.com. Charles, I want to thank you so much for being on our program today and sharing.
Always a pleasure, Terry. You make me feel very comfortable and very relaxed, and love the new studio and wish you much success.
Oh, thank you so much. You've been listening to Go Mind Your Business here on the All Your Business radio program, sponsored by Extreme Marketing Concepts. We help put your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking for you right now. Until we meet again next time, I remind you to go mind your business and have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Go Mind Your Business with Terri Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts. If you want to drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition, find out how by visiting our website, www.extrememarketingconcepts.com. And join Terri next time for another episode of Go Mind Your Business.